Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring postcards from Avalidad. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this tech-noir setting that you can play with almost any sci-fi RPG, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time I am going to talk about the Otherwordly. I am also going to talk about the appendix, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this setting. Let's start with the otherworld aspect of Avalidad. The mutants. All the miraculous drugs, extraordinary biotech augmentations, and amazing gadgets had a cost. Decades of failed experiments. Takeda Technologies and the other large corporations have strict procedures to eradicate what's left of their mistakes, sometimes even their successes, and ZoneSec lends a hand. But many smaller companies and most of the black labs in the underworld couldn't care less about getting rid of embarrassing outcomes. Many mutated creatures, some of them of human DNA, have escaped or been let out of researcher laboratories and found their way to obscure places in Avalidad. Remember that as most creatures were mutated by scientific experiments, a handful of them may exhibit mutant powers similar to biotech augmentations or replicating the effects of mind enhancement drugs. Presently, there are hundreds of strange beings inhabiting the underworld's darkest corners. The bulk of them were altered beyond recognition. Some resulted from failed implants or gene therapy that turned them into aberrant freaks. Presently, there are hundreds of strange beings inhabiting the underworld's darkest corners. The bulk of them were altered beyond recognition. Some resulted from failed implants or gene therapy that turned them into aberrant freaks. There are even those born from mutated parents, the most abhorrent of all. The mutants gather in clans. Some of these tribes were born out of similarities among the members, others just by chance. A handful retain their wits among the mutants, while others are plain imbeciles, just fighting to survive. There are several underground temples in the underworld where the tribes engage in rituals and pay tribute to their gods, the machinatores, supernatural creatures from beyond time and space. One of the mutants' rituals is a mating custom, in which females are impregnated and kept locked in a temple, inside rooms decorated with the flesh and bones of dead rival tribesmen, while being pampered by other freaks until the pregnancy is over. They do what they can so the newborn survives, which is exceedingly rare. The friendly mutant clans organize frequent gatherings in isolated areas of the underworld. These festivals include above-ground markets where they trade trinkets and foods, sometimes futuristic gadgets offered by the machinatores. Even though few of the mutants look alike, some were probably the result of the same kind of experiment, as they share physical features. The Gill people are among those. They were the offspring of an experiment during the 1980s, in which human DNA was crossed with genetic material from amphibians and reptiles. The Gill people are physically reminiscent of the fictional creature from the Black Lagoon, and they secrete an addicting and sickly sweet fluid from their sexual organs, which prolongs the life of anyone who consumes it by slowing down their metabolism. Gill people have been captured and closely studied, but to no avail. There are details on various mutants and specific types of mutations. Then we have information on the machinatores. They are techno-organic creatures, the size of a Labrador dog, that look like giant beetles with cybertech implants. Most of them have mechanical arms implanted that allow them to easily manipulate objects and perform delicate tasks. They have perfected rituals, which combine supernatural and technological procedures to bend space and time. That is how they have access to the future technologies they use to change their own bodies and to trade with other species. Next we have the Sicari. The Sicari, singular being Sicarius, are a race of demonic zealots who serve higher entities, such as the Apostles of Pain. It's challenging to distinguish between a Sicarius and another. They are all dark-skinned, tall humanoids, towering above 2 or 2.5 meters, without any facial features. They are hairless, extraordinarily muscular, and wear no clothes. Sicarii instinctively understand all human languages, but are unable to speak. They have no visible sexual organs. However, sometimes they exhibit them, it seems by just willing the organs to show. Sicarii rarely engage in sexual intercourse with their victims, but it is a harrowing experience for the hapless mortals when they do. They are perfect assassins, eliminating their victims in multiple and creative ways. Then we have the appendix, containing rules-related information to adapt this setting, specifically psionics and bio-augmentations, to any role-playing game. But it's going to be easier if you want to convert this to the Asterisk Punk RPG. You have the optional character class of Mindstar, with the skill of Scanner, which provides a bonus to your use of psi skills. You have various psi powers, such as Illusionist, which allows you to create false images and, of course, illusions in general. You also have the Empath category, allowing you to cause the target to feel a chosen emotion. You also have the Biokinetic category, with things such as Nourishment. You can coax a small plant from seed to maturity in a single turn. Or perhaps Knit Wounds. Your psionic energy heals torn flesh and renews life force. You also have telepathic powers, telekinetic powers, powers related to pyrokinesis, cryokinesis, pretty self-explanatory with things such as Flame Wave, Ice Burst. You also have teleportation. These psi powers feel a bit like magic in other role-playing games. You also have information on cybernetics and bio-augments, with the optional character class of Grinder. It has the skill of Transhuman. Your Transhuman skill reduces the sanity loss of installing cyberware by its value, for each item you install at the time of course, installation. You have different cybernetics such as neurological implants allowing you to withstand pain. Perhaps you want to interact with modems, vehicles, weapons. You also have protective implants such as subdermal plating, which gives you armor under your skin. You also have biological implants such as the anti-pathogenic nanites, which heal an extra point per day and gain a bonus to resist disease. You also have weapon implants such as the cyber claws or the pistol slots. There are also optic implants allowing you to record sound and sight. You also have oral implants, allowing you to give you infra and ultrasound capacity. You can tune in on sounds beyond the normal human range. There are also details on prosthetics, cyber frames, cyber armor. You also have information on weapons, such as the microwave pistol, which ignores soft armor and can even disable cybernetics. And these are just a few examples. There are many psi powers and cybernetic augmentations and implants. And this concludes my review of Postcards from Avalidad. So what do I think of this tech-noir setting? I think this is one of the most original settings out there. Imagine a city where computers and machines are made out of tissue, organic material, perhaps of muscle tissue. Instead of cables, you have arteries and veins. This is the sort of dystopia that is presented in this book. And there are all sorts of shady people, places, and dealings. You will have to interact with some of those people. You will have to participate in some of those dealings. Or perhaps you want to fight against that corruption. Either way, you have your work cut out for you, with so many mutants, cybernetic horrors, demons from other worlds. There is not a dull moment in this city. There is always something to do, and something that is trying to extort you or kill you. And of course, this setting is quite suitable to play with the Asterisk Punk RPG, or the Actual Fucking Monsters RPG as well. But it is incredibly easy to adapt all of this to any sci-fi RPG. You have all of the information to do that here. In fact, I think this would work great with the Savage Worlds system. Thank you for watching this review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.